Hello, Kuroi here. I know for a lot of people the Sons of Hodir reputation is rather sought after, as they do sell the new shoulder enchants, as well as recipes for a 22 slot bag, a 16 crit gem, and they even have some ice mammoth mounts available. And having done this reputation grind, I wanted to show how you can improve your rep gains per day beyond just doing the dailies, and that's through Everfrost chips. The first few clips you're seeing here are some common locations of Everfrost chips. They reward 350 reputation per turn in, and after the initial Everfrost chip you can have as many in your bags as you want. The first one will be a quest starting item, so be mindful of that. Turn in the quest and then you can go around and collect more. Any chips you collect before you turn in that quest, though, for the very first time will disappear and you will not get any reputation from them, so be mindful of that. They're also not able to be collected before you're friendly with the Sons of Hodir, so keep that in mind as well. But aside from that, it's a great way to get your reputation up quicker, especially since you only start out with 3 dailies until you're honored, so you only get 750 rep per day. At honored you get 2 more, so that ups it to 1600 a day, I'm sorry. And then at revered you get 1 more, and you get for a total of 1950. So still these chips definitely help out a lot getting there. This clip here shows picking up 2 Everfrost chips in Dunnifilum in the matter of maybe a span of 10-15 seconds. So they do spawn out in the open, kind of almost where you'd least expect them to. So check all the snowy tops in Dunnifilum. Check the bottom of the rock outcroppings, because they are there. I'm just going to go ahead here and then take you through a once around of the path I took while I was hunting these chips to kind of maximize it. Now I was herbing and hunting for these chips at the same time, so pausing at each little clip is not necessarily for a chip, sometimes for an herb, but I'll let you know. Over to the right here, out in the middle, a chip will spawn occasionally. The base of these trees all along this mountainside do have a chance, I guess, to produce them. From what I've seen then, there's actually a few spawn points by Fjord's Anvil. However, it's kind of tricky with the current dynamic content and the whole phasing. Any chips that you see once you enter Fjord's Anvil will actually fade out, so you can see them while you're in the Storm Peaks, but once you enter that sub-region of Fjord's Anvil they will disappear and you will not be able to loot them. So if you do find some, you're going to have to kind of weasel your way around and kind of feel out where the sub-region is and what angle you can go at and how to get those. It's a big pain, but there are some chips in there you can still get regardless. But these trees over here on the other side of Fjord's Anvil are possible locations. I've found a few up here, kind of a little bit more tucked away, out of the way, so you might be a little bit better off. You might luck out a little bit more checking up here. People don't travel here quite as often unless they're specifically looking for these chips for the most part, so that's something good. But right there I was trying to avoid being in Fjord's Anvil. And coming up here we have our first Everfrost chip of this little route. So that's 1. I believe there's a total of 3 I find in this matter of whatever minutes in this once around. But at the bottom of these trees, this little rock grouping outside the mountainside is somewhat popular. You can find them on either side, in between those 2 rocks. They will be there. The bottom of these trees along this mountain top are viable. However, I didn't find them too often there, but kind of found more around the Thunderfall area in this area. But any of the subregions, like I said, we're here in Thunderfall, Frostfield Lake, Dunnifilum, and the Valley of Ancient Winters are all possible to have the Everfrost chips. Basically, east of Brunhildar Village and everywhere outside of Fjord's Anvil in this region is good to go. You might have recognized those 2 trees from an earlier clip. An Everfrost chip can spawn on the edge over here as well. And then coming around here on the other side of Thunderfall, in this alley, if you will, between the ice croppings, they are an occasional Everfrost chip kind of sticking out right in the middle. You might notice occasionally an ice thorn spawning by them, but just keep an eye out for in the middle there, as well as on these the ledges these trees, pretty much all these tree clumpings as well along this mountainside are possible locations for them, as well as this other rock group, like the other one on the other side of the Frostfield Lake. You can find some in here as well. So just keep your eyes peeled. Also, if you're an herbalist like me, or if you're a miner, this is also a great route. It's not completely wasted if you don't find a lot of chips. You're still getting a lot of herbs. You're getting a lot of ore. I've noticed that the respawn rate is rather quick on this. So I guess we're halfway through the figure eight, if you will. Just keep an eye out in Dunnifilum on those tops for those chips, like I had said before. There's also some herbs that spawn in here, so I would always be looking for those as well. Kind of really fell in love with the Storm Peaks region, just this kind of immersive, dynamic content, this really long quest line. I just really enjoyed it, and the fact that it was pretty much virgin territory at the point when I was out here herbing at 77. Nobody else really was. The mobs weren't attacking me all the time, so it was great. I felt like I had the zone to myself for a while. But this tree cropping, these ledges, like you see here, there's an Everfrost chip. The one below, you can find them. There's at least herbs on the higher ones, but I believe I found a chip or two up in these regions over here, but not 100% sure. Checked my screenshots. I didn't actually find them. I didn't think about actually capturing this information rather for a while into this rep grind, because I don't know, I just thought it was kind of second nature. But I had a lot of people asking me, they would say, "Oh, I'm still 500 away from being honored," and I was like, "Well, that's weird. I'm 3K away from being revered." And they're like, "Oh my God, how'd you do that?" So kind of sharing a little bit of information. So these ledges all up here are prime locations. Find them rather often over here. Like I said, usually when you go higher up, not as many people are looking for that. Either they don't know where to look and they just happen to grab the Everfrost chips. They're kind of stuck out in the middle where everyone can see, or I'm not sure exactly what, but definitely keep an eye out, looking high, especially if you see a few other people flying around looking for Everfrost chips or herbs, whatever. I always say just look higher, and you're more than likely, if you know where they spawn, you'll find them more than other people will. So that below those tree lines, you might have noticed from another clip, these clumps of trees as well. And here's the third Everfrost chip in this loop. And then the last leg of this loop does get a little messy with this last mountain. I would do a zigzag pattern or a Z shape, usually starting off this rock outcropping, and somewhat often check the bottom of these trees and the lower ledges. Then on the middle, the zag up is the one or two ledges I would always check, especially the one with the two birch trees is somewhat common. And then occasionally you'll also find one on the top. So that's Everfrost chips in a nutshell. In the upcoming 3.0.8 patch, lucky enough, the relics of Ulduar will be no longer soulbound, so you can turn 10 of those in for 250 rep as well. So hold on to those for your own reputation, for your alt, to sell, or what have you. But anyway, to wrap this all up, thanks for watching. I hope this video has been at least somewhat informative. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Be looking to make more videos in the future, so if you have anything you're kind of looking for, you haven't found yet, feel free to let me know. I'll be posting some more videos eventually of different raid boss kills. I did put up other video today of Heroic Obsidian Sanctum Twilight Duo achievement, which is Sartharion plus the 2 Drakes. So if you're interested in that, check that out, and I'll have more stuff coming in the near future. So until then, take care, good luck, and have fun.